What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching my videos, my name is Ricky and welcome. I just want to start off this video by saying thank you for the people that religiously watch my videos. It really means a lot to me when you send me a text message or you check in with me after I have uploaded something. And yes, my subscriptions are still kind of on the low side when you think about the YouTube world and how many subscribers a lot of people have, but I am enjoying the journey. I am taking it as it is. I am enjoying the little things and I'm learning a lot in the process, and I think that I am growing too. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where this journey takes me. But in the meantime, just thank you guys for supporting me and subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. So let's go ahead and get into this week's video. This week is going to be a little bit more vulnerable than usual. So I don't know about any of you guys, but currently in my life, I'm walking through a process of learning how to love myself and learning how to love myself unconditionally. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys about just a few different ways that I've been trying to learn more about myself, to love myself, and to learn my value in that. So how do you love yourself unconditionally? That's what this week is all about. I'm going to be sharing with you guys just a few different steps that I have been taking into account. Before we even start the video, RuPaul is the only person that says it best. What does he say?
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else?
Yes, you have to love yourself. You come first. So I want to share a story with you guys. A few months ago, I was at my dad's shop and I was cleaning out the dumpster area. So my dad owns a body shop and a lot of trash is accumulated pretty fast. So we make a pretty good amount of dump rent. There's tons of, there's huge boxes that parts come in, and there's old scrap metal, and there's bumpers, and there's doors, and there's a lot of trash that's out there. So I needed something to cut down the boxes. So my dad brought me out a pocket knife. So I took the pocket knife and I was cutting down the boxes, and I left that pocket knife on the trailer each time that I was throwing more trash into the dump trailer. Long story short, I'm out there all day. I get everything done and my dad's ready to go ahead and take a load out. So when he leaves with the trailer, we put a tarp over it and he left. A few hours went by and my dad asked me, "Hey, do you have that pocket knife that I gave you?" And I tried to figure out where I left it. I couldn't remember where I set it down. I couldn't remember if I left it on the ground, if I left it on a car, if I left it on the tire, and it just came back to me that I left it on the side of the trailer. And that's the trailer that he took out to the dump. So at first I was thinking, well, I'll just buy you a new pocket knife. I guess I left it on the side of the trailer. I'm so sorry. Or we have tons of pocket knives here at the shop. I'm sorry, but I accidentally left it on the trailer, and I'm sure that once you were driving, it fell off the side of the trailer. My dad just stops and sighs, and he goes, "Oh man, that was your brother Brandon's pocket knife." For many of you guys that don't know my story, my brother passed away when I was 16 years old, and when he said that that was his pocket knife, my heart just dropped, and I just felt like a failure. I just felt like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I was so careless with something like that. I cannot believe that I didn't, close up the pocket knife, put it back where it needed to be. I wish that I would have taken better care of it. I immediately got into the car with my mom. We went out onto the freeway in our car and looked everywhere. We followed the exact route that he took, and my dad didn't take anything out on me. He wasn't angry or anything like that, but I was so broken inside. And I just kept thinking, Dad, why did you not tell me that that was my brother's pocket knife? Why didn't you tell me that where it went? If I would have just knew the value of that, and I would have just knew how important it was, that I would have put it back in its place. And I'm sorry to be dramatic, but my brother that's no longer here, his hands were on that pocket knife at one point, and my dad has kept it after, so many years inside the drawer in his office. I just wish that I would have known the value. That's what we do to ourselves. We don't understand our value. And if we don't understand our value and we don't understand our worth, then we're going to treat ourselves carelessly. Yes, I know that I'm talking about a pocket knife, and I know that I'm talking about a pocket knife that belonged to somebody that's no longer here, but the value that that knife held, because my dad had held on to it for so long, really strung a chord with me. It just told me how important it was. I would have made sure that I did not misplace it. I would have made sure that I put it back where it was supposed to be. But that's how we treat ourselves. We treat ourselves so carelessly sometimes. We let men take advantage of our bodies, of who we are. We let people walk all over us. And I'm not only talking about women. Men, you do not value yourself the way that you should in many areas of your life. There are so many of us that we don't realize the value that we have, what we are actually worth, how there is only one of us. Our DNA belongs to us alone. The print that is on your hand, this is your print alone. Your fingerprint, that is yours alone. There is nobody in this world that has the same DNA, the same fingerprint, the same lines on your palm of your hand. You are unique. You are worth so much more than you know. And I think that we tend to forget how much we're worth. Or we tend to forget our value, and we give ourselves away at a discounted price. You are not a discount. You have high value, and you are worth so much. So the first thing to acknowledge on your journey of learning how to love yourself unconditionally is to recognize your value. There is only one of you. You are strong. You are courageous. You are beautiful. You have a value that is high above rubies. You are a beautiful person, and you are valuable to this world. How much are you worth? Do you even put yourself at a high value, or are you consistently always discrediting or discounting yourself at the hands of other people? Or even at the hands of your worst critic, your highest critic, yourself. The second thing is probably one of the hardest, especially for me. Number 2 is to honor your body. This one is hard for me. It has always been hard for me. I think that a lot of us, no matter the weight that we are, no matter our size, no matter our strength, no matter how little, no matter how big, we all have this tendency to look in the mirror and not think that we are good enough, or not like what we see. Women, mothers especially, sometimes you look at your body and you don't like the way that you look. You don't like the marks on your body. But you have to remember that your body allowed you to carry your children. Your body allowed you to experience and give life to another person. And the scars that you have on you are just a reminder of what your body is capable of. Your arms were strong enough to help a person in need. Your arms were capable to hold somebody's hand when they needed to cross the street. Your arms and your hands, they were able to love and embrace somebody that needed a hug. Your legs are strong. They get you upstairs when you need somewhere to go. You don't think that you can go another step. Your body takes another step for you. We have to learn how to honor our body in the little stages of life. Yes, we can look at the way that our body looks, and we could just feel like, man, you've let yourself go. And I think that we all kind of go through that stage of life. I know for me personally, I've always kind of been out of the circle of my friends, I've kind of always been the thicker girl. And it's hard. It's hard to look at pictures and know that you can't stand on the outside, because if you do, your body is going to look so much bigger than what it actually is. And I've struggled with that for years, and it's taken me a really long time to understand what my body is capable of, what my body has got me through. I have to learn to love my body where I'm at. Number 3 is to get to know yourself. How do you get to know yourself? Do you even take the time to get to know yourself? Do you go on walks by yourself? Do you ever go out to dinner by yourself? Have you ever went to a movie theater and just sat through a movie by yourself? Have you ever done anything by yourself? How are you getting to know yourself? What are you learning about yourself along the way? A challenge that I engaged in a few months back, and I try to prepare myself to be in a state of mind where I can receive something like this. And I think that if you do not prepare yourself mentally, emotionally to do something like this, it can be a very dangerous, road to travel on, depending on where your heart is at. But not too long ago, I began to ask the question, what kind of friend am I? Asking my friends. Because I think a lot of times that we think that we're a certain way, but how are we being portrayed to the people around us? Get to know yourself. What kind of friend are you? What kind of wife are you? What kind of husband are you? And allow and give permission to that other person to be able to speak into your life. And to allow that other person to feel comfortable enough to know that whatever they are going to say is going to come out in a very loving, a very caring, non-judgmental place, and that you're going to be able to receive it and learn from it and grow from it. It was really a hard one, especially asking what kind of friend am I? There were some things that I heard about myself where I was proud of who I was, because I never knew that people saw me in that light. But there was a few things for me as a friend that I was not very pleased with. But I learned from it. I grew from it. And I became a better friend, and am continuing to try to become a better friend to those people around me. So how are you getting to know yourself? Are you taking time for yourself to allow yourself to engage in journaling? Are you going to speak to a counselor? Are you digging up where you came from and walking through that and getting to know why you are the way that you are? The thing about it is that seeing a counselor does not mean that you're cuckoo crazy. Growing up, I had it almost instilled in me that if you go to counseling, it means that you're a bad kid, that you're too far gone, or that there's something wrong with you, or especially if you're going to counseling when it comes to like your marriage, it's always a negative connotation that comes to it. But a lot of people, myself included, go to counseling so that I can develop the tools that I need to love myself more and to be fully equipped for whatever is thrown my way. I don't go to counseling whenever everything is falling apart. I continue to stay in counseling and stay accountable and to put myself first, whether it's my relationships, whether it's just me trying to learn and know myself a little bit more. Counseling is not something to be afraid of. If you use it in the right ways, it can transform your life completely, and you can experience a type of freedom that you never felt was possible in your life. And it took me a very long time to allow myself to get into counseling because of those exact reasons. Where if I knew that if I was to go into counseling, it just basically meant that I was weak, that I couldn't control my own life, that I basically was incapable. And that was so far from the truth. So we are recognizing our value, we are honoring our body, we are getting to know ourselves, all the ins and outs of ourselves. The next thing is point number 4, put yourself first. This is extremely hard. What even putting yourself first even looks like. This can be really challenging, especially if you are a parent. You have the need or the feeling to want to put your children first before anything else. If you are married and are in a relationship, you have a tendency to want to put that other person's needs before your own. You want to make sure that they're happy and fulfilled and loved and just all of the above, but you have to remember that you need to put yourself first. If you want to take a $30 spin class and everybody thinks it's outrageous to spend that type of money on each class that you're taking, take the spin class and do it for yourself. If you're in Target with your kids and you know that you have to, or whatever store, I'm just using Target as an example because we all miss Target right now. If you know you have to go to the grocery store and you need to get groceries and you need to do this and you need to make sure the kids are taken care of and you need to make sure that your husband or your wife is taken care of, or whoever you're trying to take care of, can you make sure that you stop and buy something for yourself? It can be as little as just something to pamper yourself with, or maybe something that you really want, or whatever the situation is. And if it's not in your budget for it. Put yourself first. You are capable of doing these types of things. For an example, make yourself an appointment to go get your nails done every once in a while. I'm using this as an example for women, but take advantage and when you're in the store, pick up a face mask and be able to take some time whenever you get home and put it on your face. Even if you have children at your house, take some time for yourself and put yourself first. The thing about it is, we all have a tendency to kind of step back and put everybody else first before our own needs. And in that, we can really lose who we are. That is such a dangerous route to get on, because you will lose all motivation for everything that you've ever wanted in your life. And it's so hard to be able to stay focused on yourself when you have so many other outlets in your life that you feel that you have the responsibility to put them first. I mean, your spouse, your friends, your parents, your kids, whatever the situation is, you cannot allow other people's emotions, other people's hardships, other people's just everything about other people's lives. You cannot take those on, because you are not equipped to do that. You have to stay in control of yourself and put yourself first, whatever that looks like. Point number 5, the most important of all actually, is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. What do you need to forgive yourself for? Is it a mistake that you made that you just cannot let go of? Is it something that you allow to reoccur in your head and play over in your head? You have to learn to forgive yourself and be able to say, I have to learn from this. I have to grow from this. You have to have an optimistic kind of mindset to where when something happens, you have to grow from it. You have to learn from it. I have a type of personality that it could be something as even small as saying something completely off the wall that I shouldn't have said, or I was trying to make somebody laugh, or I was doing something stupid, or I put myself in a weird situation, or just anything, and then I'll go home and I'll be in the shower and I'm washing my hair, I'm just something by myself, and I just overthink it the whole time. Can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. Wow, how am I going to move past this? What am I going to do? What do they think of me? And it just like starts going, and I'm just in this vicious cycle of just like not being able to forgive myself. But we have to learn how to shift our thinking and be able to say, how am I going to learn from this? How do I improve? And what am I going to take away from this? Okay, it's out of my control. It is what it is. It already happened. What am I going to do to be able to move forward from this and fully 100% forgive myself and learn from it? So what kind of things in your life are you struggling to forgive yourself, and what have you not forgiven yourself for? There's things in our life that we can control. There's things in our life that we can't control. So what are the things in your life that you know you are fully capable of controlling? And what are the things that you know that there's nothing that you can do to change that situation, to change that circumstance, to change whatever that is? You have no power to do that, but what do you have the power to do? Improve, learn, change, cope, live, grow, just rise above it. We all can do that. We all have the capability to do those things. And then the last thing, challenge yourself. We are so used to getting up in the morning and going to work and doing our day by day, just verbatim. It's we could do it with our eyes closed. It's everyday motion. It's something that we're just so used to doing. What can you do each day that challenges yourself to do something different? That challenges yourself to go outside of the norm, to challenge yourself to be different, to do something different, to really just like stretch yourself out of your comfort zone. It could be something as little as going for a walk, going for a run. It could be something as little as waking up an hour earlier. It could be something as different as I'm going to get out a journal and I'm going to write for 20 minutes each day. I'm going to get to know myself. I'm going to take all of these steps to try to become a better person and try to fully love myself again. Like I said at the beginning of this video, we sometimes don't recognize how valuable we are. Sometimes it's so easy to get in a mindset where we just feel so worthless. We feel like we're not enough. or we feel this thought of just, man, you've let yourself go. I think we all struggle with learning to value ourselves, learning to love ourselves, learning how to really live in our own skin, be able to put our head down at night and be okay with the person that, and be okay with the thoughts that you're falling asleep with. We have to learn how to love ourselves, to value ourselves, to challenge ourselves, to make time for ourselves. I know that this might sound like a very self-centered and selfish situation, but whatever getting to know yourself looks like, I can promise you that you will not regret the time that you took to discover who you are. This does not only go for women, this goes for men too. We have to realize that we are valuable, and it's time that we stand up for ourselves and recognize our value and stop giving ourselves away at such a cheap rate. Recognize who you are, get to know yourself, put yourself first, love yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and honor each area of your body that you maybe don't love about yourself. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching my videos, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for listening to me. I am not an expert, but I just love bringing hope. I love being able to just say, wake up and keep going, and you've got this, and just remind people that yes, these are the tools that maybe we've always been equipped with and that we've always been given, but sometimes we need to be able to have a refresher and remember what we're worth, and remember that there's things that we can control in our life, and just remember that don't stop getting to know yourself, and don't stop putting yourself first just because you have other priorities in your life. Love you for you, and when you look in the mirror every single day, honor you and love what you see looking back at you. And remember that it might take a little bit of time, and that's okay. That's the beautiful thing about learning how to love yourself, and it's the journey that comes along with it. Thank you for watching my video this week. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any videos that I upload. I upload every single Friday. I will see you guys next week. Bye. Peace out, Girl Scout. Ooh, that sounds